Go live. Going live. Going live. And we are live. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Caradog, do the thing. And now we can do the gimmick. Here comes the gimmick. Here we go. Surprise! It's a wide-angle lens. And he's actually there.
Also, surprise, it's a huge computer.
Yes. There we go. That's it. That's the joke. Where are you going to stand now? We hadn't actually thought any further ahead than doing that joke. Okay, there we go.
See, I can do this.
Yeah.
We have all this room.
Yeah. This is hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, there's a laptop there.
Oh, right, yes. There's boxes. Yes, I should move those. Anyway, hello, everyone. How are we doing? Audio is clipping yet. It shouldn't be. I think it's just because I was shouting.
I hope not. There's a computer case in the way.
Yeah. Oh, my word. Okay. I swear the game wasn't that high.
You set it to 8 decibels during the last stream.
Oh, did I? Okay, yeah. It depends what we're doing, where we need it. That's the problem. That's why it's always wrong, because it depends on what we're doing. Last week we were sitting at a laptop, and we didn't need as much gain. Whereas now, because I'm standing and projecting and just, Oh, well, hello there. How are we all doing then? Done my taxes yet? No, but I tell you what, I'm getting plenty of phone calls from robots going, this is the Inland Revenue Enforcement Centre. And I'm like, fuck off, So, yeah. Anyway, right. How are we all doing anyway? We are here with this. We are going to switch out the lenses in a minute, don't worry. We literally just wanted to be like, this thing is huge kind of thing, because this is a very tall boy case. So yeah, we are actually going to change out the lens in a minute. Is the bottom to 5 1/4 a draw? I don't know. So here it is. We've got, as people have stated, it's a Lianli PC75. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know that in advance. I just saw that in the chat and was like, it's one of those. There we go. We've got, that's a USB drawer down there. Does it? Oh, it's broken off. There's a little cover that's broken off there. And then we've got the floppy drive. We've got 2 empty bays. We've got a couple of thermal monitors, a slot load DVD drive, more optical drives, and so on. We're going to look at this thing properly in a minute. It is indeed a slot loading DVD drive. I'm guessing it's going to be a Panasonic. We'll have a look when we open it all up. This computer came in and I was just like, oh my god, we have to dissect this on the podcast. I'm talking Animax, I'm talking Gainwood. It's got the clown logo badge on the front of it. Hang on a sec, can we see that in the shot? No, we can't. Hang on a minute. I'm going to turn all the way around to the other side and adjust this camera. Bench cam. It's powered by Gainwood, everyone. Look, anyone remember this logo? It's got the weird clown posse, insane clown posse badge on it.
Insane clown posse.
Magnets, man, how they work.
Also, what is this cable management?
Animax. It's mismanagement. It's something anyway. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Ben Laird, thank you very much for the £5. Hi all from Scotland. Hello Scotland as well. And yet, rounded parallel ATA cables. I'm excited about those and I want to tell people about them.
Do you think they're UV reactive?
I don't know. There's a cold cathode in there, man.
Absolutely.
I've not turned this thing on.
That
might be a UV cold cathode in there. We'll find out.
Have you removed the hard drives?
Yes.
Excellent.
So we can just turn it on.
Good.
Because the reason why it's in is for data recovery.
It has Wi-Fi?
Does it? Is there a Wi-Fi card in there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's upgraded this with a Wi-Fi card.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. We'll have a look in a minute. Right. Right. Caradog, I think we should... what are we doing for the camera setup? You were going to... after we did the initial thing, you were going to swap it out. What's your plan?
Yeah, just to go to the normal shot over there, basically.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Also... I am a PC.
Yeah. Oh no. And I'm a Mac. That's... Oh god, we could do a terribly good parody of that, couldn't we? Oh no.
It's terrible and awful and I love it.
Yes. Right. Okay, you go fix the camera.
Sure.
And then we're going to start taking this apart.
You may wish to switch cameras then.
Yeah. So I'm going to switch up to that one. So here's a rough camera in the top, just so you can still see me while we talk about stuff. And we'll swap these out. Right, I'm going to catch up on chat now. That's a lot of DVD drives. This is, well, the interesting thing about this computer is this computer comes from the era. It's a lot, computer modding is a lot like the Boy Racer car scene. And in the same era as this, the early noughties, it was just about how much stuff can you put on your computer. There was no minimalism. There was no tasteful modding. It was just how much stuff can you put on your computer. Thermal probes. It doesn't matter what they're probing. You needed thermal probes. You needed lights. You needed cables. You needed blowholes. We've got a blowhole on this. It didn't matter what it was blowing. It needed it. So. That's
phrasing.
Yes. So that's the thing. Looks like a mechanical spider lives in there. How much kilograms? Oh, I don't know.
Much.
Yeah. Yes is the answer to that. So. Ooh. Right. Let's see. I'm going to change out. Let's go to the bench cam for a sec. I'm just going to do this shot while we line stuff up. I don't think this light is helping. Let's do that. And we need more light over here. And I'm now going to be standing in front of that light most of the time, I think. Let's move that to there. Oh, no, actually I won't be. If I have that behind me, that should work. Is that in shot? Oh, it's horribly in shot. It's not causing a problem, though. What do you think, Caradog? Should we ditch this?
It's fine.
Yeah? All right. It seems to be managing it, doesn't it? All right. You think it was a bootlegger's rig? Yeah, probably. It's from that era, isn't it? It did have quite a couple of hard drives in it. Right. You see a brown GPU slot. That is a GPU. You are right. I'll take the side panels off. So what we're going to do, I think we're going to take this apart and we're going to go, oh, look at that, and all the components in there. And then my plan is I want to tidy this up and reassemble it and turn it into something that actually looks cool. Where am I supposed to be looking? Over there. I was going to say I'm not sure which cameras are actually live at the moment.
Okay.
I just love how big the side panel is on this. The window is on this side panel because
I like how thick it is.
Yeah, it's a proper sheet of acrylic perspex. None of that polystyrene rubbish that you had before. Before tempered glass came in, computer case windows were in a really bad place of really soft plastic. Whereas the era that this is from, this will actually be acrylic plastic, not just junk urethane stuff. So it'll actually probably be reasonably hard. Like, I don't want to put it to the test, but this won't scratch nearly as easily. Like, normally a plastic side panel, just wiping it down with a cloth will scuff it. This, not so. Like, again, I've got my Cooler Master out the back that is from the same era as this, and that you can actually polish the plastic side panel on it. So, yeah, very, very cool. Right.
I just also like the fact that apparently you've got this effectively removable panel.
Is that... Yeah, could you go for 2 power supplies in that?
Not with that, because this is solid.
Yeah, that would have been an optional extra, wouldn't it? If I just turn this around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that back panel, there was... Being Lianli, who have optional extra everything, there was probably an optional extra for a dual PSU rear panel on that. That would have been my guess. So yes, hi from South Africa. What's up, Luke? How's it going? So you would give it a blowout first. I think you're probably right, actually. I forgot about that. Maybe. Yeah. We could give it a quick dust down. I'm not going to detail it, but yeah, we should have just hit it with. We should hit it with the air compressor, I suppose, shouldn't we? Let's have a quick nosy at what's inside. Do you want to turn it? I don't know if I do want to turn it on because there's some very dodgy electronics in this as well.
I think we're going to take it apart.
Yes.
And then we'll clean the parts.
Yes. And
as opposed to cleaning it as a whole.
Yes. Okay. Agreed. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's carry on. Let's carry on stripping this down then. Let's adjust things. Right.
And I'm going to start by taking this off.
Yeah. Okay.
And seeing what the back looks like.
Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do, I'll use the bench cam when we want to see this side, and I'll switch to the main cam to if we want to look at something on the other side, and I think that will work. We're kind of making up the camera as we go along today.
Oh wow! There's nothing this side.
Oh wow! Yeah. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Well then.
Okay.
May as well leave that side panel off just so we can get to things. But yeah.
Can you tell what it is yet?
Germs. Oh, it is. Right.
I feel like this is the most dodgy.
Yes. So let's talk about this fan controller. So what's that? PC mods. Oh, it's actually 2001 PC mods. It's a very, very I suppose that's designed to go in a 5 1/4 bay, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So let me grab a small screwdriver so we can disconnect the wires.
Yeah.
If I attack those.
There you go.
1 and 2. Right. So that. So what we've got here. So this was the fan controller that was just hanging out, just flapping in the breeze, and that has just literally just got 4. What are those? I guess they're MOSFETs, but they are TIP31A MOSFETs, and yeah, just literally just a. I guess the term for this would have been a bay bus. Because this was known as a fan bus, and you put it in a 5 1/4 inch bay, which is why it's so big. And you put your fans into the back, and you just have a dial, a min-max dial for your fan, and it's that simple. That's all there is to it, basically.
From the look of the fan that it was attached to, and it was only that one.
Yeah,
I can kind of understand why you'd want fan control.
Yeah, it's a big beefy fan up there. Are we going to take that fan out, or should we just stick the? Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Just to look at it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think you're going to need the big screwdriver for that, which should be in the box below you.
Is it? I think it's over on the bench, the yellow one.
Yeah.
To the left of the box. Yeah.
Bam.
There you go.
Whoop.
Oh. Have a screw.
Where am I going to put this camera? Yeah, we'll just put it there for now. We'll go for the low angle.
Oh wow.
The fan controller is probably older than you. Well, it's 2001 copyright, so yeah. Well, who wants to put a year on this computer? I mean, obviously, it's going to be it's going to be a range of years because these things get built up over time. Because we've got a lot of parallel stuff. Well, no, parallel didn't die out until what, 2005, 2006. People were, especially for DVD drives. So actually, it had parallel hard drives in it. So yeah, or IDE hard drives. Parallel is the correct term. Yeah, there's no SATA at all in this thing. So that's definitely 2004 and that's definitely 2004 and older. So yeah, the Bay Bus was copyright 2001. I reckon this thing is 2002, 2003, that kind of area. Late night? Yeah, no, it's not late 90s. It's definitely early noughties.
We'll get a better idea from the CPU and GPU as well.
Yeah, the CPU and GPU will really date this thing, won't they? Because that's that will be the last time that any actual upgrades were done to it. I'm actually quite excited to look at the CPU cooler, because the CPU cooler is one that I've seen that I used to see on sale a lot and go, God, that's a really strange CPU cooler. You'll see when we get to it.
Did it?
But yeah. It says 2003 in the video description. Yeah, I guessed 2003, which is why I've put it in there. But yeah. Is that an AT or an ATX? It'll be an ATX. However, I think it has AT connectors on it. Now you mention it. Yeah, we got a 6-pin. Oh, there's the 6-pin AUX on it. So that's old school. However, it has also got 4-pin CPU auxiliary as well. So yeah, we've got a mixture of stuff. It's a very mid-range power supply. It should be fairly decent for its time, being an Enemax, I would say. God, that fan is a beast.
There we go.
All right. Let's take a look at this. Panaflow. Oh, that's actually remarkably not that interesting. So we've got a Panaflow here, DC brushless, 12 volt, 0.24 amps. That's it. That's about standard. What is this? 120 mil? Look at the size of it, though. I'm turning this on. Oh, laser cut fan grills. I guess. Do you remember when that was a thing? Were you in the scene around that time, or is this all before your time?
It's before I owned anything, certainly. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah. Again, the rubber trim around the edge, that was standard issue because everyone was cutting fan holes into their cases just with a hole saw. You literally just got a hole saw and you just went into your 200-pound all aluminium case. That's normal, man. And to cover the edges, you just put rubber trim around that. That's how everyone did it back in those days.
The connector that has a 4-pin and the AT1 also has Molex on it.
Odd.
What?
Yeah. I'm turning on this fan. I want to see what this fan sounds like.
Is it going to sound like that one Dell fan?
I don't know. Right. Where's a 12 volt preset? There's one. That's close enough.
That's close enough.
Right. I'm going to start it at 8 volts. 8 volts, 2 amps. Right. Let's get a closer shot. How about? Let's go to there. That'll do. Prepare to walk across the table. Yeah. Let's find out. It's got very thin wires on it. It looks beefy as heck, but I actually think this is going to be a bit of a damp flannel. Okay, here we go. 8 volts. That's a reasonable airflow.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Let's give it the beans. Let's go to 12 volts. It's just really noisy if it's sounding through the table. Oh, that's a bit of a drone, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable amount there.
That's a lot of air, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. It is a very thick frame.
Yeah.
Thick frame.
It's loud, but that does push a lot of air. That's not bad. I kind of want
It's good for your, your hair shampoo adverts. Just.
I kind of want to keep it and use it as a fume extractor for soldering. Like, legitimately, that might make for a good poor man's fume extractor. That's kind of interesting.
And it's fine. It can be perfectly safe with your guards.
Yeah. All right.
And your fire hazard.
Yeah, I wonder what it's like at 15 volts. That's not bad. Oh, that's good, man. That pushes a lot of air.
Oh, dear. All the dust is just kind of going ooh, across the table.
Woo! All right, that's enough. Okay. That was 30 volts. You can torture fans a lot.
Just
you can give fans a lot of abuse and they'll take it. Yeah, that's cool, man. All right, that's enough of the fan. All right, so the fan was actually remarkably cool. I thought you had it then. I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised at how low the current rating on it is.
Yeah.
I thought when we took that thing out, it was going to be like 12 volts, 1 amp or something like that.
Machita? Wasn't that the people who you
Matsushita, yeah.
Who made the optical drives?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. Where's Postal? You're in the chat. Who's Matsushita? They're otherwise known as. They're not just Matsushita, are they? Or they're also known by a more commonly known name, but I can't remember who. It's labelled as Panaflow. It is Panasonic. Oh, is it? Yeah. Oh, is it the budget division of Panasonic or something like that? Don't know. Okay.
I know nothing about it, but yeah.
All right.
I'm just confused by all of these cables. This is very much before my time for a custom PC.
This is from a very strange crossover era where when you bought a power supply, there were a lot of oddball legacy connectors that it was expected to have, like that 6-pin aux connector. I mean, it's too early for SATA, but yeah. Oh yeah, it's got a fan speed reporting header, so you could see how fast your power supply fan was spinning,
which you can control with your little twiddly knob.
Yeah, it's got a little knob at the back. Yeah. I'm almost surprised that this power supply doesn't have pass-through on it. I think it's just after pass-through.
Yeah.
At some point, I think I chucked it out, but at some point I still had one of my old Antec power supplies that was from this era that would have been very similar to that one, and I had custom braiding on all of it. Back when I still could be bothered to do that. SIS or VIA chipset. I think it's an Enforce, but we'll find out. Check the date on the optical drive. That's an interesting one as well. But yeah. Right. Are we taking power supply out? Is that what we're going for?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna come around.
If you look here, it's actually got the link cables for the optical drive. Going
oh
to the
yeah.
sound card.
Oh Matt, I want to point that out. Hang on a sec. Let's actually just turn this around and just do a tour of how it's wired up, super quick. Whoop. Let's just do a quick tour of some of the interesting parts inside this case, because there's a lot of interesting history in here.
Hold on. If I do that, does that make a better background? I think.
Yeah, it does. So a couple of things of note before we start taking everything out here. We've got our rounded parallel ATA cables, but what Caradog was just pointing out is the optical drives here have got the standalone audio cables here. Weirdly, this one has got the analog and the digital audio cable, and those are going all the way down. Oh, they've been unplugged, but these go all the way down to the sound card because in the very early days of CD audio music in games, the CD audio music was not handled in software because that was CPU intensive. The optical drive itself, like for example, Age of Empires 1, original Age of Empires 1, the CD music, you needed to have the analog cable hooked up because the your CD-ROM drive handled the audio decoding and sent it to your sound card, which then put it out to the speakers. And so you needed this standalone cable to get the CD audio in games. And yeah, weirdly, I think that's a digital one and an analog one, but I can't remember what the purpose of the digital one is.
No, I don't know. This is before my...
Yeah, because that was a thing for a time, and then they just started doing they then started doing the CD playback music in software, and it just went down your IDE drive. SPDIF audio was better. That might be what it is, Arnold G. It might be SPDIF. which is how I'm going to pronounce it. What's that hiding under the... oh, yeah, there's something else going on down here as well. There's some really dodgy electronic thing in there. I think it is the inverter for the cold cathode. It's a really...
God, if it's proper cold cathode, that's 400 volts, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you need an inverter for that.
We will very much need to double check that first.
It looks super... When we are... I briefly saw it when I was taking the hard drives out of this, and I was just like, I ain't touching that. We're just going to put it back there, and we'll unpack all of this on the podcast. Like, it's not a death trap, but back in these days, having just some bare electronics in your computer was just considered okay. No one cared, man. No one cared. Please power up the CCFL. Yeah, I want to know what color it is, so we'll definitely do that.
Yes,
okay.
It's actually UVC.
Yeah. I mean, it won't be, but that would be very, very funny. Actual death ray. Did Windows XP support pass-through audio through IDE? Probably, because I'm pretty certain that we were doing that in
XP?
98.
Yeah. Well,
2000
I
did.
certainly did.
Yeah.
Stuff on XP and never plugged in anything other than...
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think, should we get the spoilers and just see what... No, let's carry on disassembly. We'll get to the graphics card and the CPU in a minute. I know everyone wants to know what stuff is in there, but we're going to carry on disassembling this. So yeah, if you carry on unplugging power, I'm
working out what on earth's going on with.
I'm gonna lean across the camera.
That is not connected. That is connected.
I'm gonna take out this hard drive cage so we can get to the. Oh, it is shrink wrapped for your safety. It wasn't that funny.
That was her tone of voice. Shrink wrapped for her pleasure.
Oh my days! What on earth has happened to this thing? All right, just casual spade connectors on this. I'm not sure why.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
All right, I'm going to try and get this cold cathode out. Alright, I'm going that way, and I'm going to go back this way again. Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, I'd be lying if I said my computer didn't look like this once upon a time. Because, you know, when I first started modding,
I think that's okay.
And, you know, when I was in 2002, my computer probably looked pretty similar to this.
What? Oh no, it's for the CPU cooler.
What is it? Oh, the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was uncommon to run your CPU. Yeah, I think for a long time everyone ran their CPU cooler on Molex.
But the case fan runs off of a connector on the motherboard.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. Who knows? Okay, so I'm guessing the cold cathode is blue because it's got a blue sticker on it. However, I'm going to turn this thing on because it probably needs time to warm up. This is probably going to be really dim and not work very well when we first turn it on. So I'm going to get it turned on so we can get it warmed up. God, it's really tempting just to cut these wires off just to give myself some bare ends. Because, like, you wouldn't use this seriously. You'd rewire it.
Don't you have a Molex depinning thing?
I do.
Just to push the pin out?
Yeah. If I do that, I've got enough. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, all right. Okay. I shall quickly depin this Molex.
Oh, both of the temperature sensors are just...
That was there just for show, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. Or another possibility is, the problem is over time, you lose, owners of these cases, they lost the blanking plates for the 5¼ inch and 3½ inch bays. And so you bought accessories just to fill the holes left behind. Because that's certainly the case with my Corsair. I've got just stuff filling holes because I've lost the blanking plates. Oh, those are immense. One of the first mods I ever bought for my computer, other than a Cooler Master case, was clear, rounded IDE cables. Those were the duck's guts. They were awesome.
I'm not going to lie, but what's the point in shielding that bit when all of that is unshielded?
Because shielding, bro. You've got to maintain your signal integrity. So, yes. Looks like an Intel cooler base. Yes. Oh, I still don't know. I still don't know yet. Right, I'm gonna quickly power up this cold cathode, just so the cold cathode fans can go wild.
And the crowd goes mild.
Yes, the crowd goes oh when they see that cold cathodes are actually really, really crap, and there's a reason why we switched to LED. Right, that's the wrong bare wire. Let's go for that bare wire instead. There we go. That seems pretty safe. Right, 12 volt, 2 amps. Go!
Wow.
I said it would be dim. I said it would be dim. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That'll get brighter. It's going to need like 5 or 10 minutes. But give it 5 or 10 minutes and that'll probably brighten up. It'll still never be particularly bright because they get old and they go dim. That's what happened to cold cathodes. However, it's like an old laptop with a fluorescent backlight that's been turned off for a couple of days. When you turn it on in a cold room, the backlight is really dim. Give it 5 minutes and the screen brightens up. Same deal here. So yeah, if we give that a moment, because at the moment that is a glow stick would be brighter than that.
Yeah.
However, so yes, check the cable. Oh, it's hooked up right. It's pulling 135 milliamps. It just needs time. So yeah, we'll carry on while we give that some time to warm up.
The UVC lamp.
Tell me if it feels like you've got sand in your eyes at any point. If you think you've got sand in your eyes, it means we need to turn that off. You know. So
why does my arm feel warm?
Yeah. No RGB then. Well, we've got the B. There's just no R or G. Well, there's probably yeah. Right. I love this. I love this so much. It was like I'm really hoping we've got a really nice balance of people in the audience where there are some people who are too young to remember all of this and are just like, why is this? And then the other half of the people that are just like, I remember all of this. So yeah. The RAM, it's only got one module in it. I reckon a module has been pinched out of it at some point or gotten lost. Although it might have only had one module.
It is DDR.
Yeah. Oh, it is DDR. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Although
it is prepared for the Dance Dance Revolution.
Was Athlon XP DDR or was it SD?
I don't know. I don't know. You're asking for a very limit of my knowledge. Yeah.
It's crucial, RAM.
I found the other one.
The RAM is... It is PC 2700, 512 megabytes. A single 512 stick, that was probably pretty pricey in its day.
Excuse me.
Whoop. Double-sided. This thing weighs a lot considering it's got no heat spreader on it. So yeah. We'll put that back in a minute. Right, the graphics card is coming out. And someone wanted a date on the optical drives as well. I'm going to take out that slot load one. We'll look at the graphics card, then we'll pull out that slot load DVD drive and take a look at that. It's a miracle it works. I don't know if it does work. I haven't tried turning it on yet. Right, the Gainwood. This, I think, is probably the...
Any component removal is not allowed.
Thanks. Thanks, Gainwood. Let's get that on the desk to look at.
Oh dear.
So this is probably the most interesting component in the computer. This was probably top end for its day because it's got memory cooling on both sides. So what do you think, people? What do we reckon that is? A GeForce 4 Ti 4600? 128 megabytes? What year was that? Yeah. The warning says any component removal is not allowed. So yes, don't touch. The fan still spins. It's pretty gummed up, but it does still spin. So I would say that probably still works. It looks reasonably healthy. It doesn't have... I'm surprised this thing doesn't have Molex power on it. It was... because, yeah, when did graphics cards start getting Molex power? That would have been... That would have been 2003, surely.
I don't know.
So maybe it's older than I'm thinking.
My first GPU didn't.
Yeah. 2003, ATI introduced the R300, which was the 9700 Pro. Will you sell the GPU, Graham?
$1 million.
I don't know what my plans for this is. I don't want to answer that yet. Also, whoever said VIA chipset, yes, you're right, because we can see VIA on it now. I thought this was going to be Enforce. I think it's earlier than... Oh, no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what my intentions are yet for this hardware. This computer is effectively mine. The customer has bequeathed it to me in exchange for just recovering any data that was on it. But as I say, I don't know what my plans are yet.
Ooh, turbo mode.
Yeah. What's the graphics card? The graphics card. Oh god, it's a Ralink. I didn't know they existed back then. 802.11G.
Yeah.
That's 54G, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is probably the newest component in this system. Edimax. Are Edimax still going? Whoop. It's bigger than my old shop. It is. It belongs in a museum. So do you.
So, there's a network card with a link,
old school Netgear.
with a cable.
Oh yeah,
going onto the board.
What was that for?
WOLI.
Oh, Wake on LAN. Look, it's got a Wake on LAN cable. Oh, I'd forgotten that existed. Yeah, I'd forgotten that Wake on LAN was a thing, man. See, it was, yes, there is a little wire so the network card can tell the computer to wake up on network activity. So, yeah. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Is that a modem? No, we didn't have a dial. No, there's no dial-up. There's just an Ethernet card. This thing is new enough for broadband.
Maybe for you fancy people.
Yeah, well, yeah, unless you're Caradog, who didn't get broadband until about 2012. So, as an FYI, this cold cathode ain't getting any brighter. So yeah, the cold cathode is very goosed. I don't remember how bright these things got. I like to think that they were fairly bright, but I don't know, man. LED is wild. Let's see. That's a lot of letters and numbers. BAM B19N079. Thank you very much for the 10 CHFs.
Swiss francs.
10 Swiss francs. Brings back so many memories. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
What is it?
Sound Blaster Audigy 2ZS.
Audigy 2ZS. Oh, that's fairly new for this as well.
It's copyright 2003.
Oh, really? I thought that. Oh, I thought 2000. I was expecting it to be later than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were very pretty.
Looks...
They were very pretty. Let's get that under the camera.
That looks really good.
Let's put that on the bench. I forget how. I have always said I dislike covers on computers, and this is why I dislike covers on computers. Because, let me get the manual focus going on this. Where's my mouse pointer, man? Oh.
Also...
Oh my god,
Yes.
Oh, I know what it is. My wireless keyboard is going nuts because it's sitting next to basically an exposed power inverter. Oh no. Hold on a minute. Help me out, Caradog. Where's
Press
the mouse?
Control.
I don't have that enabled on this computer.
Oh no. Where's the mouse pointing on? Is it on your third screen?
The third screen is detached. No. Okay, right. The keyboard is connected. It's just struggling big time. Okay, the mouse pointer is in the top right of the screen. I'm going to turn the keyboard off, then on again. Okay, we've got the mouse back. I can now mouse again, which means I can now adjust the focus. There we go. Look at that. Is that not a thing of beauty, that? All gold plated, thank you very much.
There is certainly a very nice gold luster.
Yeah, that is a pretty sound card. With all the connections on the back as well.
For your game port.
Yes. Well, actually,
legitimately for the game port.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it does have the game port on it still.
Yeah, because this is a game port.
Yeah. Why? Does anyone know why the game port went through the sound card? Because that was a really common thing. Is your gamepad used to connect to your sound card? Was it just because the sound card just had the appropriate I/O for it?
I guess.
Oh, because MIDI.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was for MIDI, wasn't it? Yep. No gold jacks. Yeah, no, they're gold jacks. They're a bit
dusty.
Yeah, they're dusty and a bit corroded, but those are gold plated. Yeah. Yeah. How does that? It doesn't. It needed an adapter. I think he had a different sound card in this thing at some point that had this gamepad connected up to it, and he just never took that out.
Look at the size of that BIOS chip.
oh boy. Hang on a sec. Garadox. So, where's the BIOS chip? Bueller? It's that! Oh man, for a moment, I was just like, I'm putting that in the programmer and we're doing a BIOS dump of this, but I'm like, that won't fit in my programmer. I don't have a programmer big enough to fit that honking boy in it. Gold does not corrode. Oh, okay. Well,
it is tarnished in some fashion.
Yeah, it is tarnished. Yeah, corrode is
the sheen has been removed.
Yeah, I mean, it's not solid gold. It's gold plated, I guess. But let me go for I'll go for the big close-up. Here we go.
I love gold.
Yeah, see what you guys think. Now, where did I put the key? There it is. All right, here comes the focus. Yeah, make of that what you will. So you can see that they're golden in colour. But yeah, the BIOS chip she says not to worry about. I mean, the irony is obviously that it's probably like 4K. However...
the BIOS chip.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's still really, really funny though.
Oh no.
Residue, yeah. That's the plating coming off. Yeah, okay, there you go then.
So, how do I get this cooler off?
Still, very pretty. Okay, right.
Oh, you have to undo the fan. And then once you've undone the fan, you can then undo the metal bit. Right, fine.
Right.
There are an awful lot of just bits, aren't there?
Yeah, I was just looking at the desk thinking, I'm just going to adjust the camera and I'm going to grab all of the stuff we've pulled out and just put it to one side.
And then I'm going to go
down and then we'll
across.
Then we'll go down across and go for a top down because we can't fit the entire case in a top down. It's too big. But now we've got most of the cabling out and we can put that back in. So the cold cathode, that's a bit of a letdown if I'm honest. I wasn't expecting to be blinded by it, but it's a bit shit. So yeah. Right. I miss the warm glow of a cold cathode. Very well. That was the problem with them though. Yeah, they did just fade over time. Like I know that when I used to run cold cathodes, I would probably replace them every year, every 2 years, because they've just gone dim. So yeah, subtle lighting is more classy. Well, that's the problem. That thing wouldn't have actually cast any light, I don't think. So yeah. Right, I'm going to pick up all these bits and put them on the back benches.
Ah! Molex, no!
Pick up the blowhole. I'm just using the terminology from the day.
Would you like a collection of PATA cables?
No.
I have many much.
I do not want a collection of PATA cables. Right. Oh god, we still have the power supply. I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we going to take that? Should we take the power supply out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just taken all the wires out the back, so it was a bit less of a mess.
Yeah. Okay.
There are a lot of fans in this, aren't there?
Oh, I'm trying not to drag in front of the mic. Are there a lot? Yeah, there's
there's
one
two.
There. Oh yeah, two there.
Front intake.
Yeah.
2 here. There was one at the top. There's another one there.
Again, this was you just put in. Well, I mean,
you just filled as many holes as you could.
It's no different today, though, is it? People just put in fans to fill in hard points, don't they? Just the difference is, in these days, they didn't look pretty. But yeah. Right, let's just adjust up to there. There we go. Right, we'll swap places again. I'll let you carry on doing all the legwork. Oh, you know what? I think that's got an LED fan in it, that Enermax power supply. I think I might have owned one of these at some point, or something very similar to it. I just can't remember what computer it was in. Because I remember when I unboxed it, it came in a little, it came in a bright pink Enermax pouch. And it's where the Enermax lanyard came from as well. That Enermax lanyard I've got kicking around, it is like, it's got to be from 2005-ish. Where is it? I've got to find it.
Oh no!
Oh, I think it might be in the back of the Corsair. Yeah, it is. Ah.
Ultra cool. Visible ball.
Enermax. Yeah, visible ball bearing. That was their gimmick. That was it. I think yeah. That that was literally.
It's also dual fan.
Oh yeah, so it is. Yeah, that was literally an Enermax gimmick. Is a clear rotor so you could see the ball bearing. Presumably, just because they had a ball bearing fan instead of a sleeve bearing. I think that was the point, just to say, sort of, look, this is a ball bearing fan. Okay, right. The specs of the power supply. This is an EG365AX. Any guess? Well, I suppose that 365 watts. That's a bit of an odd number. Oh, 350. Total power is 353 watts. The 3.3 and 5 volt rails are 32 amps a piece. Because back in the day, that was really important because pretty much all the logic was on the 5 volt. And was the CPU on the 5 volt rail?
I thought that was pre-ATX.
Yeah, I don't. So, folks in the chat will be able to confirm it. Yes, there is a minus 5 volt rail. 1 amp minus 5, 1 amp minus 12. And yeah, the 12 volt rail is 26 amps, which is pretty standard. It's just those massive 32 amp logic rails.
So what you're saying is this is great for all of the RGB.
Well, your modern RGB. Well, actually, yeah, because your modern RGB is on the 5 volt rail. So yes, that's nuts, man. That's tasty, and by tasty I mean it's not tasty. I love the way all these fans are literally nut and bolted in.
Yeah.
No self tappers in this case.
Also, it just gives you a massive.
Yes. Just a void. This was the kind of case where I know some people were running dual power supplies. They had one power supply for the computer, and they had a second power supply that was running thermoelectric cooling.
Oh, yeah.
This was the kind of case where you ran a thermoelectric cooler and you had a second power supply for your tech. And yeah, people were still trying to do that. And I think some people were running a second power supply for their water cooling as well. Because I think most water cooling systems back then were still using what were essentially modified pumps.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I think, were running a separate power supply just for cooling systems. K6 CPU. Newer than that. I don't think it's a K6. However, we're going to find out. We're going to start taking that cooler off. So this cooler is basically a thin stack of screws. It is the most bizarro cooler that I have ever been aware of. And when I saw it in there, I was like, oh god, it's one of those. I'm gonna put the electric boy on that because there's a lot of thread you need to take out there. Oh no! It's too stiff for the electric boy.
There we go.
Nope. It tried. XP 2200 plus. That's a good guess. Were Intel making chipsets at this point? Because that might be the giveaway. If it was an Intel, it would have an Intel chipset. I don't know if they were in the chipset game yet. Cryo Peltier cooler. Prepare for condensation. Yeah. I'm just looking at the solid block of copper down there as well. Because back in the day, copper was cheap. And you could literally just have a solid copper CPU cooler. What was the name of it? It was Thermalright. Thermalright were making CPU coolers that were just like 1 kilogram blocks of copper that just hung off the motherboard. And yeah, that's. We'll take this CPU cooler off and then we'll show it. It's a bizarro CPU cooler. You'll see in a moment. It literally looks like a small nuclear reactor. They look like control rods, don't they? Spring loaded, which is kind of nice. Are we going to use this case for a custom build? I don't know yet. This will be. I also own a Cooler Master ATCS 201B, which is from the same era as this. And it's my old case, which has a great deal of sentimental value to me. And it's in better condition than this case is as well. The Cooler Masters tended to age better than the Lianlis. If I do a 2000s era build, because I've got the parts to do a mid 90s build, which I've been threatening to do for literally 10 years. It's an AMD.
Oh no!
If I do a mid-2000s build, I'd probably do it in my Cooler Master. Drop a Raspberry Pi in it. Yeah, it'd have more horsepower. Alright, it is, and I'm not sure. Socket 462. Flip chip PG. Oh my god. Just, there's no... Where are the pins, man? There's no pins. Right. It's an Athlon 2400. It's been a long time since I've seen a CPU that looked like that. That's cool, man. Let me give you guys a close-up. And also this just bizarro CPU cooler. Which I love and is nuts. Right, let's go... Oh, we're already at 78. Cool. Let's just focus in. So, I focused in a bit too hard there. Let's come out a little bit. There you go. So yeah, it's just, what's with that, man? Oh, are they threaded? I'm not sure if those are threads or just ribs. I think they're threads.
I think they're ribs.
Yeah. I suppose that increases the surface area, but it looks really weird.
Ribs for her cooling.
Yes. And there's our CPU. So yeah, obviously before the days of integrated heat spreaders, and very, very light. Just again, so low pin count on that. Love it. Very, very cool. What the hell? They look like tiny concrete anchors. Yeah, that's what they look like. Just such a weird CPU cooler that. I remember seeing it on sale back in the day and thinking it looked weird. And yeah, this is so nostalgic seeing that CPU.
Wait,
That's
is
cool.
that the temperature sensor for the
Yep,
CPU?
that's the temperature sensor. That is your CPU temperature sensor. Literally just a little thing down there. Let's get a... Three. Come on. Focus, you fuck. There we go. So yeah, there's the CPU socket, and literally that's your thermal probe for your CPU that just hangs out underneath the CPU. So yeah, 8-bit motherboard. The motherboard it's an 8-bit KX7333. So presumably that 333 means parallel ATA 333, I'd imagine.
I guess.
Yeah. Or it might be 333 megahertz RAM. That might also be what that denotes. So yeah, that's what you're used to a CPU looking like. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not a Barton. This will be. It's probably a Thoroughbred, I would estimate. I tell you what, actually, I'll quickly give you a close up of the number on the chip, just so you guys will be able to see. Let me put it back in the socket, so I'm not having to hold on to it. Where's the triangle? Top right. Whoop. There we go, and let's go in for. Stand by. There we go. So that's an AXD A2400 KV5C. AXD A2400K. Yeah, Thoroughbred. Yep. KT33 stands for 333 DDR RAM. Yeah, I thought so. Very cool. Anything else interesting? There's the VRMs and some big, huge, tall capacitors. Yeah.
What are they for 6.3 volt?
Nichicon, thank you very much. 6.3 volts. What are they? They are 4700. So 4700 picofarads, I think. So I think that's 4.7 mic. I'm not very good at reading those numbers though, so I'm not going to guess that. So yeah, Thoroughbred 2200. This thing was probably an overclocking monster as well, which this motherboard may or may not support. Not sure. So yeah, check for popped capacitors. Yeah, we got some angry looking boys down here. That guy looks very angry. That's about it actually though. This guy's a bit domed. Oh, that guy is as well. I'm starting to spot them now. This general area is looking a bit sketchy. This guy's domed as well. It looks like the cheap ones. What are the cheap ones? Oh, so I'm just going to stick my head under the camera just so I can see what brand the cheap caps are. Tipo are the cheap brands ones. Anyone heard of Tipo? So all the green ones are Tipo. These guys are Nichicons, and these purple ones. The purple ones are Rubicon. So yeah, all the high end stuff to the CPU is Rubicon and Nichicon, and these guys are all Tipo. So yeah. Yeah, there you go then. That shows it. So the cheap ones, they've all died, or they're all dying. Expensive ones, those guys look absolutely fine. Yeah. I'm going to check that BIOS battery. It's a Maxell. It's stone dead. It's like it's turbo dead. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah. There we go. All right. Cool. That's our teardown done then, I think, isn't it? So just close that up. Right.
Yeah, close that up so your CPU doesn't just kind of flop out.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. We might be like, we'll just put that up right, and the CPU just goes, ha! And that'd be a bit awkward. Right, what's next then? Are we gonna
blow it?
Yeah, we'll give all of this a blowout with the air compressor, blow the worst of the dust off, and just put it back together again, shall we? And just like try and make of it what we can.
Yeah.
And then we'll turn it on and we'll just see if it still runs. Like we genuinely have no idea if this thing actually runs or not. Absolutely no idea.
DVI output.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that's not an issue.
Yeah. Do we have any? Could we install any software on this?
Could we? No.
No. Yeah. No.
Do you have CDs of Windows 98?
Oh, you'd run XP on this.
XP.
Yeah, you could run XP.
Or do you have a CD of XP?
I don't. There might be one kicking around from when we did the XP build, but I couldn't tell you where it is without going looking for it. So no, we're not going to run any software. We could go into BIOS and dick around in the BIOS, I guess, can't we?
Yeah.
See if we can make it post at. I don't know what the stock clock on this actually is. Come to think of it, because being a 2200, you'd think that would mean 2200 megahertz. But no, this was the era where AMD were just like, we call it a 2200 because it's the equivalent of a 2.2 gigahertz Intel processor.
Yep.
Because FU. It was probably 2 gigahertz or 1.8 or something like that. So, it might clock up to like 2.4 or 2.6 or something. It was 1.8. Yeah, there we go. It will be multiplier unlocked. So if the BIOS has actually got some settings in it, you can crank up the. We could probably dial in a bit of FSB, bit of front side bus,
or we could
put
get
the multiplier
up.
Oh no, it's too late for pencils. Yeah, no, it's past. Pencil era, that was Pentium 1, right? I think, but yeah. Although before the Thoroughbred, I can't remember what came before Thoroughbred, but the ones before Thoroughbred were not multiplier unlocked, and there were some solder links you could do on the CPU to unlock the multiplier. Couldn't tell you which ones, but around from that era. So yeah, they didn't see much. The 1400 I don't know. I know the 1800 was a ripper. The Athlon 1800. There were some people that were dropping down to 1800s because they would clock higher than a 2200 at stock or something like that. But again, I forget which ones. I was running an old Thoroughbred for a while, and then I switched to a Barton 3000 or something like that. And that was the end of my Athlon XP days.
And then we got 2 cores, and it blew our minds.
Yeah. Well, not quite, because no, after that I went to a Socket 939 Opteron. Yeah, that's right, I went Opteron. And then it was after that I then went to Phenom. No. Yeah, Phenom. But yes. Oh well. Anyway, cool. Let's do some cleaning, shall we? Let's quickly drop out that DVD drive. Where's the screwdriver? Yeah, let's have a quick look at the slot load DVD drive, just because people wanted to check that out. It's screwed in on both sides for your safety.
You don't want your optical drive flapping around in the breeze.
Absolutely not. Whoop. Some of these optical drives actually had 8 screws in. There were 4 on each side, literally filled every hole. But I took some of those out in advance. Oh. Sorry if I'm scraping into the mic. See, there's 4 on this side. Just because it might fall out. Yeah, I want to fix that. There's no screws in the other side for that pushed in port.
Light on it.
Light on IT? Yeah, light on were really, really common for optical drives. They make a lot of power supplies for modern computers as well.
Okay.
I thought you were just going to push that into the case then without holding on to it. I'm like, can you not? It's a long boy, that, isn't it? Right.
What's your guess?
My guess? Ooh, I think that's fairly late, actually. 2005.
No. Too late.
Oh, okay, fine. Fine, 2003.
It's June 2002.
Oh, okay. Oh.
It's really reasonably early.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I thought a slot load DVD drive like this would actually be fairly late. Don't know what part of me thought that was a good idea. All right. Don't know what brand it is though. Oh, Pioneer. There we go. Pioneer, of course, they would be making slot load DVD drives. I think Panasonic and Pioneer. They.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh, I was just like, it says this. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, that says
What's
kanji.
What's the spec of it? 2 maybe? I reckon 2x. I think that probably is because it says DVD 106S/2, maybe 2 times DVD playback speed. This thing probably sounds like some of these would have sounded like a bag of nails when loading up. Like the Matsushita ones that Apple used sounded like a bag of nails. Whereas this one, I reckon, probably sounded smooth as silk when it loaded a disc up. This was probably silent running this. This thing probably cost a fortune. When it was new, I'd be amazed if this was less than £50 when it was new. Probably pushing more. I don't want to take any more guesses than that. You reckon more? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Weren't they multiple hundreds? When they first came out, they were multiple hundreds.
A DVD drive.
So I remember someone saying about spending like £400 on a CD burner.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking for just a default one then.
Well, I don't know.
A standard DVD-ROM, they were never super expensive. But then on the other hand, an exotic one like that probably was. You know, I might be thinking that just a standard one was probably 50 quid.
Yeah,
because like a combo drive. But I might be thinking more like 2005 onwards era. Because, you know, I mean, again, 2002, CD burning was still a novelty back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I might be way under-speccing there. Your first CD burner was $300 in 96. Yeah, in 96, I can believe it. Slot load bulk model 16X Max. Yeah. Bought an Acer CDR in 2000 for like $60. Yeah. They came down quick, though. I'd be interested if anyone can figure out roughly how much that would have cost, because this is very, very exotic for its day. Very exotic. I think you're right, actually. I think it would have been considerably more expensive. I think I'm right about a DVD drive costing about 50 quid, but I think you're right. That was probably significantly more. So, yeah. Interesting. Very well. Okay. So we need to do some dusting. We need to do some airlining.
Yes.
And I need a coffee. So what we're going to do, what's the timer on? We're on 1 hour and 8 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a 5-minute intermission, which is however long it'll take for us to carry this stuff to the kitchen, hit it all with the air compressor, and bring it back in here. We don't have a camera set up out there, and I can't be bothered to set up the phone camera because we're not prepared for that. So yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to take 5 and just airline all of this stuff, and then we'll bring it in here and we'll start reassembling this and we'll build up a pretty cool computer, I think. So yeah, let's do that.
Given all, yeah. Surprisingly, that doesn't really need blowing out.
Yeah, well, we'll give it a quick zap just to get the fans.
Yeah.
Everything else we could probably just use the whatever that is. Everything else we can probably just paintbrush it down. Yeah.
Ah, a bug.
An invasive species. Oh, is that? Oh no, it's just the silk screen. Yeah, I thought a capacitor had just wet the bed on this graphics card, which would have been unfortunate. Yeah, okay. I could sit and stare at this stuff all day long. I could sit and just look at this and just look at the components that are on there and just... Yeah, there's just so many weird things. Look at... what I'm talking about is just, like, look at this graphics card. Look at the capacitors that are on it. Like, we've got this capacitor here. Just look at how the label is on that. It's really... the label is really odd. It's got this sort of plastic label, this plastic wrap on it, and it's just, yeah, You don't see stuff like that, and it's really odd. And that Atmel chip, whatever that guy's doing, you know, it's just, I could just sit and stare at these components all day. Sanyo caps on that one. Really odd, really odd. Yeah, heat shrink. Don't know. Yeah, just shrink wrap labels. And I think that was because it was still early days for these kind of capacitors. Who knows? Right, I'm going to start carrying stuff out the back. We'll be right back, everyone. We'll be in and out. Atmel is the BIOS. Yeah, I figured so. Yeah, because you'd often see chips like that socketed. Oh well, right. All right, you've got that. Just turn off all the equipment so that's not.
Are you going to mute the mic so the air compressor doesn't?
It probably won't hear it by any meaningful amount, so I'll leave the mic up. Right, that doesn't need it. Just the graphics card. Grab that. Grab that. Oh, grab these fans. Whoops. Why can't I hold all this junk? Probably just offended everyone by calling it junk. Right, coffees are in there, I'll beat you in there. Right, we're about there, peeps. Two blokes make coffee off screen. They sure do. Right, let's see. In the old day, you went to your Amiga 2000. I look cold with my fur-trimmed jacket on. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always cold. The old system is still running. God. You're getting dentist waiting room vibes. Caradog is one of those internally heated people who's never cold. Meanwhile, as I say, I'm always cold. So yeah, I've got on this fur-lined hoodie, a big thick jumper, and 1, 2, 3 t-shirts. 3 t-shirts, a big jumper, and this. That's how cold I am all the time. I wear layers. Let's see. We didn't spray paint the drives back then. No, spray painting. Optical drives were always hideous. Always have been. You were lucky when you were lucky to be able to get ones with black plastic front on them. It was very, very common for people to take off the front fascia and spray paint the front fascia, or do what was called a stealth mod, where the death of many blanking plates on these cases was that people would take the blanking plate out, chop the sides off, and affix it to the tray on the front of the drive. So you'd press in the bottom right and the whole plate would come out on the front of the drive. That was called the stealth mod. Very, very common. And it was a really good mod, but that was why most cases of this era are always missing blanking plates, because people had done stealth mods with them and then bin the drive. Bit of a shame, really.
You had one on yours, didn't you? Yeah.
Although I have an official Cooler Master stealth mod on mine. So I actually...
Mine's special and better.
It is. Legitimately it is. That's why that case is important to me. However, also, before I had that, I had done stealth mods in the past. But then Cooler Master was spotted that everyone was doing the stealth mod and released an actual official product. So I'll actually... Before we actually get started on this, what I'll actually do is I'll just quickly grab the Cooler Master just so you guys can see what my one looks like. Because it is kind of relevant, because it's the same era. I think it's accessible at the moment. It's only got one pile of laptops on top of it.
Only one pile of laptops, he says. Good Lord. Only one pile. Only one ping.
Ooh.
There we go.
Do you want to kick that one to the floor for a sec? Just push it off the desk, it's not important.
Okay, I thought you were going to put it in front.
Oh yeah, could do, yeah, for a size comparison, yeah. Right, Oh, hang on a sec, I'm going to mute the mic before I do that. Yeah. probably good that I actually take this off and actually put some fresh masking tape on it anyway, just before this actually becomes very difficult to remove. There we go. So this was a slight green tint window. So this is my Cooler Master 201. Oh, what's it? Oh, it's some old FX setup I've got in there. Yeah, there's nothing special in there at the moment. Obviously, I just put something fitted to it just because I had it lying around. I'm actually curious as to what's in there now. I thought this case was empty. However, yeah. So this is a Cooler Master ATCS 201B. CS, yeah, cooling. Active Thermal Convection System was what it was called. This is the 201B, and as you can see, this is probably akin to the same size as a modern case. This is a MIDI tower, so this is comparable to how big a standard computer would be. So that shows you how huge this big Lianli is. So yeah, and yeah, this one. So this one, I personally always thought that the Cooler Masters were better built than the Lianlis. They were more sturdy. They were about the same price as well, I think. They were a slightly champagne colour of aluminium instead of the sort of the cooler silver colour of the Lianli. Up to you. I think they had prettier side panels as well. You can see that this has got the green tint side panel. It's not literally green, but it looks like car glass instead of being just plastic look. And they had this cut glass effect on the side. Let's see, bench cam. So as you can see, the actual side panel had this cut glass edge look to it, which made it look a lot more like it was actually glass. And as you can see, it's actually still very, very clear. I haven't even cleaned this, but when you compare that to a modern plastic side panel, it's so much nicer. And the bit that I was talking about just then, if I just bring that round, is again, I had, so for my DVD drive, this is an aluminium cover that is taped to a DVD drive in there. So that was just an official stealth mod. And yeah, Cooler Master made loads of extra little bits like this. So yeah. And then I've got a Lamptron Touch fan controller, a very dodgily built filler hole, and there was the front. And this is also the one where in the early days of the YouTube channel, I did a retrofit of USB 3 to the front as well. So normally this would be USB 1.1 ports. I upgraded them to USB 3 ports. And that's a dual 80mm intake. And proper clunking anti-vandal power switches. None of that tactile rubbish. I'm very, very fond of this case. And this is why on modern cases, when they have like tactile switches instead of anti-vandal switches, and I'm just like, the power button is kind of meh. This is the standard that I'm comparing them to. They literally don't make them like this anymore. This thing is old, but they really don't make them like this anymore. So yeah. The Antex Super Landboy, I can't remember. I'm going to Google that in a minute because I recognize the name of that, but I can't remember what it looks like. I know the Landboy was a very, very popular case back in the day, though. Right, I'm going to put this over here.
I was just half expecting you to open that and just go, my hard drives!
No.
It's got my Bitcoin wallet on it.
I wish. Remember when Bitcoin first came a thing when we were at NetPlay and Flint was mining on the NetPlay gaming PCs? If he'd hung on to that, he'd probably legitimately have a fortune. You're looking perplexed.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, just a case of oh well.
Yeah.
It is.
Who knew, man? Who knew? Yep. Right. I'm going to catch up on the chat super quick, and then we need to start attacking all of this. I think I'll go over this with we'll go over this with the cloth and the glass cleaner, just because we've taken the dust off, but there's still a lot of dirt to come out of that. In fact, I think that's a damp cloth start. So yes. Let's see. Chief Tech cases. Oh yeah, the Chief Techs. That's full tower. That would have been up here. The Chief Techs. They had like 10 optical bays or something dumb like that. You're building a PC like this on 9/11. Yeah, that era, wasn't it? Yep, that was a thing. That was what was happening back in that day. A Cooler Master case looks like it survived a nuclear blast. It's not bad. It's got a couple of scratches on it. And like I'm kind of in two minds about that case. Part of me is just build something else in it, and part of me wants to actually talk to someone who knows metals and say, look, I've got this brushed aluminium here. It's got some deep scratches in it. Can you do anything about that? I don't think it's worth it, but it would clean up nicely because as you saw, I kept the bubble wrap on the side panel to make sure that didn't get damaged in the back room. What I probably will do actually is I'll get another case box and box that thing up just to keep it, just to make sure it doesn't get any worse.
I mean, you can put your old FX build back in it, given that that's there.
I could, couldn't I? Yeah. I mean, that's not the build I want to put back in it, but I could. Yeah. I don't know if I want to, because I sold that FX motherboard and cooler with the intention of just sending it away so I'd never see it again. But as things tend to do, it just came back. It just boomeranged back in here again. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign that it wanted to be rebuilt.
I have...
It's there. So yeah. Let's see. The Super Lamboy. Oh yeah, I'm going to quickly look up the Super Lamboy because I'm curious. I need a window. Right.
What were the...
Antec Super Lamboy.
Was it DFI?
Yeah, DFI LAN party.
Yeah.
DFI weren't making cases, I don't think.
No.
They were just the motherboards.
But yeah.
Yeah, DFI were making this. That 201B as well, there was a piano black edition of that looked slick as hell, but piano black doesn't age well. My friend had a piano black version, and yeah, it didn't look that great. Oh god, I don't know what I was expecting from the Super... Oh my word. Yeah, no, I remember that, boy.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's actually a half-decent picture. Hang on a sec. I need to close some stuff before I open this. There we go. Desktop. There we go. There's the Super Lamboy. So yeah, how about that? That's a cool-looking case.
With an RTX graphics card in it.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, like, judging from the photo, this is obviously taken recently, and yeah, someone's obviously done a stealth. PC Master Race switched from an NZXT H500 to an Antec Super Lamboy. And probably got more airflow. Oh no. I'm going to quick click through to that. Have they got any more pictures? Is there more?
Doesn't look like it.
No. Oh, fuck off. That's in really good condition. Like, that's in spectacular condition. Because, like, that, yeah, see, this is cheap plastic, this. You can see the deformation in it. I mean, that is where there's a ridge in it, I guess. It's not too bad. Because the problem with plastic side panels is they weren't very clear, so there was a rippling effect when you look through them. But yeah, it's not too bad. The plastic chrome rivets were never my cup of tea. However, yeah, that particular version of it, though, is in really, really good condition. That's very impressive. That's very cool. Minimize. You like the Lianli aluminium cases? Yeah. I think Lianli still sell aluminium cases, but they're just exorbitantly expensive. As I say, I always preferred the Cooler Masters, but Cooler Master versus Lianli was a very, very old. Cool, you know, that was AMD versus Intel, ATI versus Nvidia, Cooler Master versus Lianli. Cooler Master were the duck's guts back in those days, whereas these days they're a company. But yeah, back then Cooler Master was the last word. They were one of the top brands. I think it's reasonable. Cooler Master were the Corsair back then, whereas these days Corsair are considered the equivalent. You know, again,
Corsair are of a Corsair of 2022.
Yeah. Snowing crazy here in Canada. I've got some Canadian friends who said they had a lot of snow incoming. Stay safe, everyone. So yeah, right.
Are you going to wipe this down?
Yes. The Liami TU150. Is that a modern one? I'm not going to start Googling cases now because we'll be here all day. I'm going to start wiping this down. I'm going to put you in charge of the chat while I do some cleaning.
I'm going to grab the rest of my coffee then.
Yeah, okay. You're in charge of the chat. I'm going to quickly get
I'm also going to squint aggressively.
You can zoom it a bit more if you want. I'm going to grab a...
You're going to...
I'm going to get a J-cloth.
Yes.
Because it needs J-clothing first.
Can Canada stop having inclement weather? Last I heard, Gorgplex was returned to sender again. Oh no! Teltac, your keyboard got returned again. Haven't you been waiting like 2 years for that?
What has Teltac had returned again?
The keyboard thing that he ordered.
I mean, at least he knows where it is.
Yes, it's possibly been located.
Yeah.
It is in fact in a snowdrift.
Oh no, yes. I mean, I've got the switches. These Kalia switches have been sitting here for months. I'm ready to build that keyboard. It sounds like a really exciting project.
Yes. Just
one day.
One day when the parts leave Canada. Oh dear.
Those switches, they turned up within like 4 days of ordering.
Yeah.
Just the actual keyboard.
Oh, apparently it's only been 6 months. I thought it was way longer than that.
Yeah, no.
It feels like longer.
6 months sounds about right. Ugh.
Really? On the ATI Radeons, you had to use third-party drivers to get proper TV resolutions on the TV out. I didn't realise the TV out had a, resolution.
Pass. I don't remember that, but I wasn't using TV out back then, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. True. I used S-Video for a few months because it was a thing, and I got a free TV from my godparents or something, and I was just like, I can plug the TV into my computer.
Yeah.
Cool, let's do that.
That was a novelty, but it was I always considered it to be a bit of a gimmick, really, because obviously with TVs weren't HD, so you were probably going to get a better bit. Well, TVs weren't HD, and by that time we were starting to switch over to LCD. So we had what at the time we thought were really nice looking monitors. And by that I mean 15-inch 1024 by 768. But you could see the pixels, they were super sharp, and that was good quality back then. And also we had about 25 milliseconds of ghosting, but that was charm.
25 days of ghosting.
Yes.
It astounds me that with OLED and all of that stuff now, we are now kind of getting to the point where we were at with CRTs.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yes, 25 years later.
Yeah. Not that LCDs are terrible, but there are certainly some niceties that were lost and never recovered.
Yeah. When
we switched to LCD. Right, how bad is this blowhole? It's actually pretty good. That's actually really nicely done. I wouldn't have used the rubber on it. I'm actually tempted to leave the rubber off because I think it looks hideous, and I did back in the day as well. That's not razor sharp. I'm not cutting my hands on that.
Something about a raw look on your blow hole.
I mean, yeah.
Careful. Almost.
I want it. It's too easy, but that's not what I want this stream to descend into.
Discussions of. Anyway. Oh dear. Did you ever build an HTP?
A HD PC.
HTTT. A media PC for going under for TV.
No, I was threatening to.
I legitimately threatened exactly the same way for years, just to kind of go, oh yeah, it'd be great because you can put your DVDs on there and then,
especially because when Silverstone first branched off from Cooler Master, they came out with a load of HTPs. Yeah,
I didn't realise that's where they came from.
Silverstone the original Silverstone guys designed the ATCS cases. When when Cooler Master stopped making aluminium cases, that division left Cooler Master and formed Silverstone.
Interesting.
So yeah, and they came out with a bunch of HTPC cases because I think Cooler Master had realised that they weren't selling enough aluminium cases because they were expensive. That case was £240 in 2001. That's a lot of money. They were not cheap. They cost a lot. But also it was a case of if you had one, that you were part of quite an exclusive club there, you know, because people didn't have those cases, you know.
Yeah, true.
They were luxury cases. But yeah, and Cooler Master obviously realised they weren't selling enough of them. Leanley always got away with it because they were Leanley. They've always been a bit weird. With
their like £7,000 desk case.
Yeah.
Not desk PC, desk case.
Yeah. So yeah, Cooler Master obviously gave it up, and so Silverstone obviously were like, well, there's no point in selling just ATX cases because we already know those don't sell, which is why Cooler Master stops doing them. So they were like, well, okay, we'll target the niche market then, HTPCs. So they started making specialist cases. So yeah, and I wanted to build in one because I saw them and I was like, those are really cool, but I had no use for one, so I couldn't justify buying one. And I wanted to build one for other people, but they were also expensive. Because at one point, my sister approached me and said, oh, you've been talking about these. I would like to buy one from you. And I said, cool, it'll be £800. And she was just like, never mind. But that's how much it would have cost.
I remember re-looking at it when Intel Vivo
is how I would pronounce it.
Started getting bashed around because that was a thing about having media support and things like that as well.
That's right, yeah.
And I started looking at that.
Yeah, it was VI something, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah. Because I remember seeing some OEM PCs that had that because the computers that carried that, they had the Intel badge that had Vivo on Intel Vivo or something. And it was similar. It was like Centrino was Intel mobile technology. Vivo was Intel media technology. It was an OEM computer that had Intel CPU, a graphics card, and a TV capture card. And there were probably some other prerequisites for it as well. So yeah, that was Pentium 4 era. So yeah, that would have been 2005, 2006, that kind of era.
That's when I first looked.
Oh no, more like 2004, 2005.
That's when I kind of looked, and because that's when also there was a media center edition of Ubuntu. I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Was Ubuntu out by then?
Yeah, there was like a media center edition of it, and I was like, ha! All the bits have come together, and then I never did anything with it because it involved actually spending money on computer parts, and I could never actually, get any. Yeah. Being, a school kid that wasn't allowed out.
Yeah. Cooped up in boarding school.
What do you mean you want to leave your home?
Why would you want to do that? There's people out there. The common folk are there. You'll catch the poor.
You'll catch the poor? Yeah. What am I doing? Going around with a net? We need to replace our stock of poor. Go catch some. Put them to work with the chickens.
Ow. Oh, I know this isn't terribly exciting to watch. However, the case will greatly appreciate just a wipe down, which is what we're doing. I've gone over it with a damp J-cloth. I've missed a bit. But now I'm going over it with glass cleaner just to add a little bit of quote-unquote, well, not protection, but the damp J-cloth takes off a lot of the grime but smears a lot of it around, but it's gotten the worst of it off so it doesn't clog up my cloths. Now the glass cleaner will actually clean the metal and get us back down to just aluminium.
Yeah.
And it will just make the case much nicer to handle and probably make it look about 2 decades newer.
It's just incredible, kind of the markings that's on the metal, like here, and then you wipe it, and then it's just all gone. It's just
if you give them just this TLC, They will shine up. Because the thing is, like, the interior, this is just bare aluminium. It's not brushed or anything like that. So it doesn't actually look very attractive, which is why the inside of my Cooler Master is all blacked out with black vinyl.
I thought you were going to say, which is why the interior of my Cooler Master is far superior.
Look.
My Cooler Master is far superior in every way it's possible for it to be superior.
Look, I was straight up from the start. I was a Cooler Master fanboy, not a Leanne fanboy. However, for the sake of balance, I have a Leanne Landcool too, and I very much like that case. But I wasn't into these Leannes. These weren't my cup of tea. They're very cool, but not my cup of tea.
I really wanted one of the, what was it, PC777 Leanne cases, which was the seashell one.
I was going to say, was that the snail one? Yeah, the seashell one. Yeah, that was a very oddball case. That
I really liked it, but then by the time I actually had a job and money, they'd stopped making it, and you could then find them for sale for like £3,000.
Oof, yeah.
And I was just like, no. The answer is no.
Just do this, and then I think I've done enough. I've done as much as I care to do.
Yeah.
Because this isn't a restoration. This is a podcast.
True.
Like I could spend a weekend detailing this thing.
Yeah.
And
back in the day, though, back when optical drives were relevant, more so than they are now, why did cases have space for like 7 or 8 of them?
I don't know.
It's not something I understood, especially when the drives initially, when they launched, they were several £100. And then sure, they dropped down to the 40s and 50s, but that's still a case of, but why do I need more than one?
Yeah.
If I'm playing a game, I only need one.
It was
maybe 2 at a push.
I mean, having 2 was not, having 2 optical drives was not bonkers.
Yeah.
So I can understand MIDI towers that had 3 bays, maybe 4, because you'd have 2 optical bays, and then you might have a hot swap hard drive bay or some other 5 1/4 accessory, which was not uncommon in the day. But yeah, as I say, certainly. I mean, this one's got what, 5? Is that 6? Yeah, this one's got 6 bays, man.
Yeah.
And again, someone mentioned earlier on the Chief Tech. The Chief Tech would have been up here with like 10 bays.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't understand what you used them for. The only exception to that is I have seen, because when I was contracting, we were servicing computers for media companies who were making computer graphics and stuff like that. And one of them, they did have a Chief Tech with literally 10 DVD burners.
Yeah.
Because when they made promo stuff, they were making their own CDs with one of these towers that would burn off 10 at a time.
Yeah.
So I can understand. But yeah,
that's like
very specialist use. And like again, you used to see all these massive Chief Techs for servers and things like that.
Yeah.
But again, servers don't have a lot of DVD drives in. So I mean, I guess there'd be a SCSI array.
I mean, sure, maybe if they had a hard drive tower behind those drives, then it kind of made sense. Yeah. But it's just like, I don't know. It just seemed weird for me.
Tape drive as well, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just kind of a case of only having like 4 doesn't seem to be much of a limitation to me. But then again, I guess I'm also from an era where having an 80 gig hard drive wasn't unreasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Guru, the Thermaltake Tsunami Dream, which I was always like, when that came out, I was like, that's a knockoff of the Cooler Master Wave. If my memory serves me, the Tsunami Dream, if that's the one I'm thinking of, I think everyone's just like, that's a Cooler Master Wave, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Tsunami.
Tsunami, tsunami came crashing over me. Sorry.
What?
It's Manic Street Preachers, man.
Okay.
Right? That's Manic Street Preachers, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay, right. I'm done wiping things down. I've missed bits, but again,
it's good enough.
Yeah. We could literally spend a weekend detailing this case, and I might, at some point, I actually might, because, like you can see this thing is cleaning up.
Oh, yeah.
Like I haven't done the front or anything, but just the sides and the interior, it's actually cleaning up. So yeah, cool. Right, what are we gonna do? Should we go sideways and start?
I think laying it down is probably the
and we'll just start building it up like we would a normal computer. Oh, keeping an eye out for one of these dudes, because that's one of the spacers from the CPU cooler, which I think we will need to avoid crushing the core. Is it under there? It's under there. We found them.
All the cooling things should be.
Do you want to grab those? And see what? I'm going to quickly... yeah. Here, I'll...
The entire bench. It's filthy.
There we go.
There you go. It's quite light, though, once everything's out of it.
Yeah.
Which is impressive.
It is aluminium, after all.
Yeah.
And it's not terribly thick aluminium either.
No, but it's just big.
Yeah. It's bulky.
So you just expect it to be. I think the thing as well is, it's surprising, is given how big the case is how cramped this corner is. Wait, does it have little diagnostic LEDs on it?
It looks like it does, actually. I did spot those little traffic lights. Let's swap places.
Okay. I will adopt this position.
And...
I hope you know how that attached.
Yeah, that slides in down there. Am I going to put that in now? I might put that in now. Let's just... It goes in down there. And
it goes in down there. Drop.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I might move the mic in a minute because I keep making noises into the mic and it's bothering me. Whoop.
Oh no! This is one of the horrible cases where you have to float the power supply.
Right. 90-degree FOV. Let's go for that. I think that's about as wide as I can go. What happened to my coffee? I put it down somewhere and lost it. It's over there.
I think... No.
Ooh.
These ones?
Hmm.
Probably.
Yes, it is genuinely... Well, this one... The Cooler Master is all aluminium. I think this is all aluminium along the bottom here. I'm not sure if this is steel chassis and aluminium clad. No, that's got to be aluminium. Although I'm 99% certain it's all aluminium. But yeah, I would, again, the Lianlis I don't know so well. Cooler Master I know was definitely all aluminium. That was a big deal of it. Magnet, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, it's all alley. A whole lot.
Does it stick to the power supply?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oops.
There we go.
There you are.
Aluminium. Aluminized steel.
What?
I just read it in the chat.
Also transparent aluminium.
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
Apparently it is now, yeah.
Ooh.
It's no longer just a voyage home thing.
Yes. And... Okay.
I'll let you plug them in.
Oh god, these are split down to individuals. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Also, what is up with this braiding?
It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit arbitrary.
I'm gonna...
I tell you what that's probably is, actually. Because you've got your CPU AUX, which these days we'd call the EPS connector, oops, sorry, let me add your eye out. You've got the 6-pin auxiliary connector, which I think is for AT era stuff. And then there's a Molex connector. I'm guessing the Molex is there because there was probably some rando motherboards that just had a Molex connector for auxiliary power.
This doesn't have any auxiliary power, does it?
No, it does not.
Fine, we do not need this at all.
No. I think it was... I'm not sure what from this era was using that auxiliary connector. I didn't use it until I think my Opteron had auxiliary.
You did use auxiliary power until you were already a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Molded by it.
Right. What's our strategy here? So the ATX is right up here.
Yeah, and I'm just working out how I can get some of it to disappear.
I would try and fold it into a
So
thing
you've got
there.
all of this space up here.
Yeah,
as
you're
well.
not going to be able to go up and come back down, though, are you? I think you're
You could just swap the power supply.
Could this whole thing flip over?
Probably.
Yeah. Would we want it to?
I don't know. Just statement that you can. I don't know if that's any
I mean, do you
better.
want to test that and just see how that looks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the issue is like we can go up. We've got a big cable void up here to hide stuff in, but we don't really want to go up and come down again. That's kind of awkward. But we just chucked out the idea. The back plate that the power supply attaches to, we could just flip that over and literally just flip this all 180 degrees, which would give us a cable dump space here, which would be very cool. So yeah, Caradog's going to investigate that.
Whilst working out how to use this screwdriver.
Yeah, and yeah, there are several blown caps. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. They just look unhealthy. But I mean, we're not going to run this up. I'm not going to restore this to working state. If we can get to the BIOS, that'd be nice, though. Yeah. Oh, don't. Yeah. The battery is dead. Don't let me forget about that. We'll stick a new one in there. I'm kind of interested. We'll try and power it on with the dead battery in there first and just see if it works, and then we'll try swapping out that battery and see if that recovers it. Does this have a removable? No, it doesn't. Some of these cases had removable motherboard trays, which was kind of cool. So yeah. Right. Is this motherboard screwed in properly? It is not. Can I make it screwed in properly? I cannot. It's not very well supported, this thing. Fine.
Got more than one screw in it?
You would say that. Okay, I'm going to handle the low-down stuff. This has a lot of IDE on it.
Am I caught on anything? Nope.
The old BIOS stands for Born in Outdoor Shed. I forgot the CCFL. Oh yeah, we'll put that in. We've got to put the cold cathode in.
Do we though?
Yes. Yep. Oh, I see. The cold cathode used to be along the top there. You can see two sticky backs where it was mounted at the top. That would have been hardly doing in anything. We'll find a home for it. Maybe down here. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Right, I'm going to figure out these front panel connectors.
The answer is yes.
Neato. Has the fan got airflow? It's got enough airflow. Yeah.
The fan's the wrong way around. I can swap that. That's not a problem.
Well, no. This is one directional. So yeah, but that'll work as is. So yeah. Let's do that because then we've got cable space. These wires will reach down to the bottom of the case, especially because we're not putting in any hard drives down here anyway. Actually, just out of interest, would they? There's a hard drive chain. Yeah, we could route down there. That can be done. We could make that work. What's the memory? The memory, which I shall put back in the board before I lose it, because I've already lost it.
It was
It's over here.
DDR stick.
Yeah.
512, I think.
Yeah, 512 PC 2700. Put that back in. Crucial to be exact. Oh, bloody hell. Ugh, that doesn't mess around. Okay, right. So the front panel on this makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know if it used to be a standard. It's not one that I know. Reset. Oh, hang on a sec. Let me just see if I can organise this cable. All right. It's very clearly labelled though, which is kind of nice.
Uncommon.
Yeah. Especially for this era. Like I half expected we'd need to look up a manual for this motherboard. What's that? SP LED. Oh, that would be standby power. Separate LED for standby. Power LED. 3-pin bi-color. Unfortunately, the case doesn't have a bi-color LED. Hard drive LED. I would wager that in the BIOS there will be an option to have the power LED flash or not for standby. This is a fun fact. Oh, this is really difficult to see. I need a torch. Yeah, some things never change, do they, Christopher? Oh god, the silkscreen is really unclear for this one. The bottom row was really easy, the top row is very difficult. I'm going to guess it. Taking a random guess.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah. That's all, yeah. Never change. Okay, that's going to go back there, and we'll cable tidy that around the back.
It's like that blimmin' Chinese motherboard.
Oh, God, that was awful, that one, wasn't it? Your 2 kilowatt one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, front fans, I think that is.
Is this even resolvable?
Oh my word! Oh no, Leanne, what were you thinking? This is my front USB.
Oh my god! What?
Leanne, what were you thinking? Who? No. The Cooler Master had solid blocks. Oh god. I actually need I need a reference to find the pin out for that. Wasn't there a USB header in here as well?
Yeah.
Because that'll have I can use that as a quick reference. Where's it gone? There it is. Yeah, there we go. I've got a cheat sheet here. Do we have 2 USB headers here? No, we don't. I'm tempted. Are we going to leave half of this stuff out? Like this USB double header, because we can't have the front USBs and this plugged in at the same time. We only have one
What's
header
going to
port.
be more useful? The 2 on the back to give you 4 at the back, or having 2 at the back and 2 at the front?
Implying we're even going to use this computer. I'm going to plug in the fronts and just leave this out the case just to tidy it up. So yeah, you don't need USB. Yes, true. Let's see. It is indeed red, white, green, black. That is correct. All right, I'll put that to one side. Okay, so we're going red, white, green, black from front to back.
Why?
What are you encountering now?
Just the way that all of this is.
That's kind of standard, I think, but yeah. Right. Red. Ooh, white.
Why? Why is this red one?
Green. And black.
Oh.
Go.
That floppy connector needs...
Split USB was a thing. Ugh. Gross. There we go. That will go on. Oh my word! That connector is broken as hell. All right, we can never unplug that again. However, it's in. Right, just do this one.
How does
oh
that
no,
even
I've put
get
these the wrong way round.
Oh,
It'll
that's
be all right.
what this is for. This is for the temperature thing at the front.
Temperature thing at the front?
This.
Oh. No, those have got button cells in them.
Do they?
Yeah, look at the back.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's for the front fans.
What? What?
Red, white.
Oh, because there's a fan controller. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You had to have buttons and dials for everything.
Why?
I had a bank of switches on mine at one point that was rad. I did a custom made bay bus, 4-channel, and it switched 4 fans between 7 volt off or 12 volt. So when I turned my computer on and went to gaming mode, gamer, I would go to the front of my computer and I would go and switch all my fans onto high speed, and I would feel like a fighter jet pilot. I thought it was cool. Don't judge.
These are the joys I missed out on, are they?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no!
Right.
Oh dear!
What's up?
The alcohol has tarnished the surface.
Yeah. Shouldn't. Unless it's just reacting with whatever schmutz is there. Right, am I going to plug in? Yeah, we'll plug in the shield wire. That shield wire might be a problem, but we should be okay. There we go. All right, the USBs are connected. That was a struggle. Whew. Oh, Chunky Chunk used to love the sound of PCs in the 90s. The hard drive was my favourite noise. And to this day, I still love the whine of an old hard drive going, and then especially if it's got that really nice purr to the seek, where it's like, like not a harsh click, but that weird musical, you know, it's hard to describe, but you all know what I'm talking about. Carrot dog off to the side using nail polish remover. Yeah. Yes, it is an AMD system. This is an Athlon 2400. You hate hard drive noise? Yeah. Like these days I do. But yeah. I'm going to pop off this 40mm fan because the air compressor didn't get to that very well. I'm going to give that a little bit of love.
Very well.
Where is... Oh, that'll do. Ugh. These were bastorially loud, these little 40mm fans. It was quite a common mod on if you cared on cases like this. Even if you had a lot of case fans, it was still quite common you could buy tall passive heat sinks for these Northbridge chipsets. Because, yeah, we all had a load of noisy fans in our computers anyway, but these things whine, which is the problem. They're a very unpleasant noise.
I agree.
Stand back. Good enough. That wasn't so bad. All right. We have unleashed the spores. Self-tapping screws straight into the heatsink.
Very early 2000s.
I'm amazed this fan still spins. I fully expected that to be seized.
That you checked after you'd re-screwed it on.
No, I had a quick poke at it, I think, when... At some point, I don't know when. Cool, right. What's that? These are back fans. How are both of these connected?
To these ones here?
Oh, I see, yeah. Right. Is that a CPU? What are those labelled?
Fan 2. Fan 1.
Okay. Yeah, let's put these ones up to there, because our CPU cooler is Molex powered. Because that means what I can do, I'm going to twist these up.
Don't forget we've got to put our sense.
Yeah, we've got to know how fast the power supply fan is spinning. We'll snake that one down to here, I think. I just want to have these two plugged in together, just for neatness sake.
Imagine cable tidying a 2000s PC.
Yeah. I mean, how much time have we got? Oh. Don't answer that question. We're at the 2-hour marker, which means we've got to hurry the heck up. Okay, the amount of care and attention I'm putting into this is about to go down by approximately 90%. I apologize in advance. We are going to start cracking on, because this is taking a lot longer than I anticipated. That goes to that. Get in there. Really? Come on. Tweezers. There we go. What is that? Other than very loose. Some kind of loose back plate on this, I think. Problem is, we can't get to the back of the motherboard without taking the motherboard out, I don't think.
Hold on.
Is there anything behind that in the motherboard tray?
Which one is it? Is it?
It will be the top, your top right.
Because there is one there.
Yeah. Can we?
Oh yeah, it's there.
Yep. Hold on a sec. We can get this loose screw. Hold on a minute. That's just a nylon bolt. I think it is nylon screw. There we go. That's enough.
Yes, it's a nylon screw. It was designed by NZXT.
Oof. Zing. There we go. That'll hold.
Oh yes, you can padlock your computer closed.
Yeah, you got to stop people stealing your RAM.
That's why cases were this big. So it was hard to steal.
Do they read chat? We try to. However,
Sometimes.
We're looking back and forth. You got a laptop that randomly shuts off. I don't believe it's from overheating, and sometimes it happens before it even reaches BIOS. Could you send it to me? Randomly shuts off. Not sure.
Does that go in there? Maybe not.
I mean, you can send it in if you want. But that one, that sounds like a rabbit hole. So you can send it in if you want, but I make no guarantees as to likely success rates with that. All right, I'm gonna put these that, and that. Have you got an extra spring over there?
No.
Okay, we're missing a spring. Right. Right, that's that. That's that. That's going to go there. We'll zip tie that down somewhere. Floppy drive is connected. We'll tie that back.
Oh my god, why?
Oof. I think we've just got to get all of this plugged in and then try and just zip tie all the cables up. So, where's the slot load DVD drive? It's right in front of me. I'm going to thread that in the front. I'm going to just take this vertical super quick and reorder the front blanking plates because they're in a bit of a weird order. Whoop. Let's go to that. Right. Shall I put the slot load at the top? Yes, I will. Oh, sorry everyone. Oh, blimey, yeah, these Lian leads. Oh, they did have screw holes. They can be screwed in.
My cooler master.
Shush. Was better. Was better, damn it. What are you looking for?
Little plastic bit for the cooler.
What plastic bit?
I'm assuming them bits.
Oh, we've got one of them there.
I'm going to steal that one.
Yeah. I think that is the one, actually. Right. Okay, that's that done. So I'm going to put the... Where did I put that? Oh. Goes in the top. And we'll lob a couple of screws in there.
See, the reason why I think that one was down low was for the sound cables.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Ah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
yeah,
it can
just
be
as
made.
A direct,
yeah,
as a diagonal run.
It can be made to work. On account that we're not going for perfection now, it's too late. However, we could do. That's something that could be done in the future if we were going mega with this. Right, I'm going to sort out these Molexes super fast. Right, that's coming back out again.
Why was the floppy connector so bad?
Because it's ancient, basically, and they didn't really care. Although I've never seen one do this before. However, I've just unplugged that again just so I can figure out a better routing. There we go. That will then be able to go around the back, which is what I want. There we go. That's plugged in. That is the floppy. Oh yeah, and it can plug into that as well. Yep, good. And this one's going up high.
Oh my days. Pins, will you stay actually inside the Molex?
Right, and that is excess. Shove all of that up the top above the DVD drives. Out of sight, ow! Oh, out of sight and out of mind. And then we'll zip tie all of this together in a minute. Cool. All right. Cool. You can lay that down and do the CPU cooler now if you want. The flame fan grill was on the CPU cooler, wasn't it?
No, that was on here.
Oh, there must have been two then, because this is. Oh yeah, there was a flame. Yeah, that goes on there.
Yeah, because it was like that.
I would
ditch.
Sure? Yeah, because that 80 mil. Yeah. So yeah, I would actually ditch the wire because it had both. It had the flame and the wire on it. I would ditch the wire grill. I don't know why you put both on there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do again. Same with the top one. I'm going to ditch the wire grill and just put on the laser cut. Whoop. Okay, right.
I'm presuming that went on that way around. Fine. May I have your smallest of globs of the thermal interface material?
Whoop.
Oh dear.
Right, let's try and read the chat while I'm doing this.
Come on. No. Oh dear. Oh, stop. I thought you just pointed the camera at the preview.
No. No, I was just scanning through the chat. However, I've kind of gone into speed up mode because I hadn't realised the time. I didn't realise we were up to 2 hours, 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, I thought we were at like an hour and a half. We are approximately 40 minutes longer run than I thought we were. So I'm like, let's get this assembled. Because I think everyone's going to be super disappointed if we don't turn this on. I will be disappointed if we don't turn this on. Although it's also entirely likely that this motherboard doesn't work and it won't post when we turn it on. So I'm just setting expectations now that as interesting as this disassembly and reassembly has been, this might be a colossal waste of time. Right. That's that done. Whoop. Right.
It's weird looking at stuff like this and just being like, who designed this and why?
Yeah, they were kind of just making it up as they went. I think, like there weren't standards or precedents for it. They were kind of just like, let's do that because that kind of works, right? Is that spinning? I don't know. This is the problem, is you got to remember as well, is that we don't have, because there's no IHS on this CPU, crushing the core is actually a very real thing. A crushed core is a very real danger in these days. So.
I require.
I'm going to lob that in there. Start putting our PCI.
That was crunchy.
It was a bit, but yeah. I'm quite glad that this graphics card doesn't. Yeah, I'm quite glad that this graphics card doesn't have a Molex input on it because it would be really nasty trying to get Molex over there and have it look half decent. Wi-Fi.
Where do we?
Does this motherboard have on-board Ethernet?
No.
No, it doesn't. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, good luck with that. That's not going to happen. You can try. Right, I'm going to stack these PCI cards all down the bottom. Those I'll wake on LAN. You know, the Wake on LAN is one of my favourite parts about this, just because I'd completely forgotten that Wake on LAN cables were a thing. They were utterly useless for a home computer. Like, again, this does not need Wake on LAN. It's just kind of cool that it has it.
Did you, at any point in your existence, ever wake a PC by LAN?
Yes, I have done it. I have used Wake on LAN, but I used it in an office environment. I think I had configured... At one point, I had configured my my computer to be able... I think I could wake... When I first bought what's that brand of router I used to use? Begins with Z, I think.
Xilinx?
No, not Xilinx. I forget the name of it. There was a brand of router I used to use, and it had the ability to send Wake on LAN signals to computers. And I had my computer configured that it would be asleep at home, and I could Wake on LAN it from my router config that was externally accessible, and then I could VLC, not VLC, I could VNC into my PC. But that was it. Like it was a gimmick setup. I never actually used that in anger. We're going all the way down to the bottom of the graphics card. I'm going to go one notch up for the graphics card, the sound card. I suppose, yeah, I will want the bloody wireless card in there. Seems a shame to put the sound card all the way down the bottom. But yeah, Zyxel were a cheap brand. It's not who I'm thinking of. I don't think they do begin with Z, to be honest. I think I'm getting tired and I'm making stuff up. Draytech.
Yes.
They begin with Z. There's not even an X in Draytech to make me, I guess Y is close to Z. I'm getting tired and you can tell.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I'm tired. Shush.
I need to come in at a weird angle to try and get that in.
Okay. I will just quickly... Could you get that in first, Tut? And then I'll let you do your weird angle. I'm going to go back to that camera angle. And check. US Robotics. Yeah, I remember them. How many would have even had a home network then? Well, Ethernet would have been... Ethernet was probably mainly just for early broadband, mainly. Although, no, early broadband would have been USB. There would have been some people with Ethernet, I suppose. I was very early to the Ethernet game, though. What are you doing to yourself?
Oops.
I mean, I'm glad I don't have the camera on now, because this entire situation here is just like I'm trying not to look, but it's horrifying.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily your fault. It's just this whole setup.
The mount is not good.
It's jank. It's jank as heck.
It is some of the thinnest metal I have ever had the displeasure of feeling as a mount.
Ooh. Anyway, I'm going to read the chat. Wake on Ring.
Yeah, for dial-up and stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yep.
And also for fax servers.
Yeah, because for a minute I was like, what, is that a token ring thing? And then I was just like, oh, of course, yeah, modems, yeah. Yep.
This is horrid.
Yeah. I used Wake on LAN when I was working in schools because we could have when I was at the public school that I used to work at, where I was working on the Mac setup, I had the best Wake on LAN setup. We had all the computers go into standby when they weren't in use. And so in the evenings, when I was running system updates on the Macs, there were like 3 or 4 tables with a circle of Emacs on each one. And I would, from my laptop, remoted into the server, I could wake up one table. I would go wake up the first table A, and though they would all come on at the same time, I would say install updates, and they would go installing updates, and then I'd go and sleep, and they'd go to sleep, and then I'd do the next table, and I would wake them up, update them, and sleep them in batches while sitting at my laptop at the desk, feeling very smug about myself. Yes. It was very cool.
Oh, good. I suddenly thought, oh no, what if I've over-tightened the fan? And it can't spin, but it can.
Good. There's no room for errors in this. This is, yeah, I mean, the power supply is a nightmare, but we'll just get a cable tying screw.
Yes, that could be that could be tidied up.
Yeah, we'll zip tie all that together.
The problem is you'd have to unpin the Molex.
To do it,
yeah, because the cables are all wrapped around each other.
Yeah, the problem, we're actually looking fairly tidy in here. Let's go back to the bench cam. We've got a lot of stuff in there and it's looking okay, but there's that. So yeah, we'll make good with that. What else needs to go in? Oh yeah, we've got the blowhole. I'll get to work on the blowhole.
This will be the first time I've ever plugged these in.
Ah. Yeah. Check which way around they go. I can't remember if they're specific. I'm a big fan of this panel flow. I think it's very cool.
I presume I want the CD in, not the aux in.
Correct.
Oh.
They're technically identical, is how they're labelled in software.
This has a missing pin, but the connector does not have a missing pin.
No, it probably depends on what it's carrying. But yeah. One of them should be keyed.
Neither.
How badly am I standing in front of the camera? Yeah, whatever. Right. Put that up there.
Neither appear to be keyed. Because I just...
Oh, yeah. I don't remember which way round it goes. I would say... Nope, I don't remember. However, we're not actually going to test it. And that will be a problem to solve if I ever actually set this computer up to work properly.
I will leave them unplugged.
Yeah. Oh. That's going to go up there. Right. Providing steady commentary while we do this is very difficult because we're kind of reaching the stage. We're kind of reaching the stage of the build where it's just like getting everything plugged in now.
Have you grabbed the screws for that?
Not yet. No. I think they're behind the white keyboard. There we go. It's starting to line up now. Ah, sorry. Oop.
There's the screws and there's the nuts for you.
Right. Oh, blimey. This is terrible, man.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
Yeah. Have you got the electric boy there? 'Cause I'm going to zap that in.
Hopefully. It's like a worse version of mounting the freezer.
Yeah.
Oops, too much. I don't think you've gone through the fan. You haven't gone through the fan.
Yeah, that's cool. Hang on a sec, I'll get it. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, cool. Lower. Lower. Too low. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I've got it hooked. No, stop. You're not helping. Sorry. I need... Whoop. I want to not be standing here because I'm just standing in front of the camera. However, this is just the only way this can be done right now. There we go. Got that piloted.
you want to go up?
Yes. Thank you. Whoops. And let's go to... Bam. Let's go to the camera that I'm standing in front of.
Hello.
Right, let's go around to there so I can stand to one side. Okay, let's see. That was loud on headphones. Yeah, sorry for any bump noises. Oh. Where do you need to move? Oh, okay, I just need to back those off just so there's a bit of give in everything. There we go.
Okay.
Right.
Did anyone snap up an RTX 3050? No, I didn't.
No, me either. I didn't have my finger on the trigger. I did have a casual look. It was my intention that if I saw any at a reasonable price, I'd buy them.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I never saw any that were actually in stock.
No. I saw the ones that I posted in the exclusive.
Yeah, they were gone by the time I got there.
Yeah. And it was just like, oh yes, launching it over £400.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh.
Oops. Yeah.
No thanks.
Nope. I'll pay $250 for one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if I saw some for $300, I'd buy them. But over $300, no.
No.
No. Just no. Yeah, I think if I saw some in stock for $300, I would buy them. Any more than that, no. Absolutely not. It's because that's the thing about the 3050 is it's fine. That's it. It's fine. But we have to remember that it's trading blows with a 1660 vanilla. That's not saying much.
Yeah.
That really ain't saying much at all. There we go.
Although the one benefit it does have over a 1660 is it can do DLSS. So
yes.
You can do DLSS.
DLSS 1440p.
Or even just 1080p.
I guess, yeah.
It's still a case of
God,
at least it can still do that.
Imagine a 2022 graphics card that can't max 1080p. Though that's the problem. But then it seems to be able to do like high 50s or 60 at max settings in anything, which is arguably all you need, and if you're at 1080p. And for the class of card, we want everything to be able to do 1440p, but for the class of card that we're dealing with, it doesn't need to do 1440p.
And given that, 78% of people are on 1080p or lower?
Yeah.
According to the Steam hardware survey.
I'm coming around here.
So it doesn't particularly matter.
Yeah.
About 1440p to a degree.
Right. I'm going to grab all of this and I'm going to scrunch it all up.
Have you got the fan cables? Hold on. Let me just pull the fan cables out. There you
go. Tap.
Where's the tub of them?
Yeah, thank you.
Legitimately, where is the tub?
It's the...
it's right there.
Yep. Right, we're going to zip tie everything together. Start with those ones because they're nice and long. Oh, that's massive overkill, actually. Whoops, there we go. Right. This is very much a bodge to fix the cables, but it stops them from just hanging out. Oh, come on. Over there. There we go. Whew. That is not great, but 10 times less awful than just spaghetti.
Absolutely.
Right. This guy, I'm not going to bother doing anything with that guy for now. This guy, we can get that plugged in. And Move that guy down there. Right, we're almost there, folks. Again, sorry for the lack of commentary right now. We're just trying to get this finished here. Oh, that's way too much slack. Let's pull that back in a sec. I've got a horrible feeling this thing won't turn on. Which is like I'm prepared for that. I will be disappointed, but we need to be prepared for the fact that this thing is just stone dead. We forgot to dust these cards before putting them in. There we go.
Okay.
Right. Okay, and then we've just got to stick in this this dodgy bay bus thing. Because the blowhole has to work. The blowhole is everything.
No.
But what if yes?
How?
I'm going to put it here. It'll be fine. It'll be great. That's going to go... It's going to go there. I'll have that on max.
Okay.
There we go. That'll be fine. Ah, that's slightly less fine, but we'll be okay. Right. Oh, that's less fine than I thought it would be. The blowhole is in trouble, you guys. We'll get there. Hang on a sec.
Do you want me to hold this up?
Yeah, we're fighting two strained cables here is the issue. Oh, there we go. I've got one in. Take it down. And here's the other. Take it down. There we go. That needs something to strain relieve it, like just to hold it in place, but not a problem for now. Okay, right. Whew. Have I got... Yeah. Oh, hang on a sec. I've just got a little wedge of foam here.
I was just going to stuff this under.
Oh god, that's not going very well.
Shall I just...
Oh, I think I just got it at the last second there. Hang on a sec. This is very vexing. It's staying like that. Fix it off camera. Fix it off camera. We're out of time. We're out of time. Right. Okay. Bench cam. Bam.
Excellent.
Yep. Do you want to put the back panel on? See, this is the problem. Is there's so many of these little finishing touches that are very, very awkward and time-consuming to show on camera. Oh, we haven't plugged in any of the parallel cables. I was sitting here thinking, there's got to be more to it than that. We can't have made that much disappear. Let's ruin all of that cable tidying now. Ooh, would that run all the way around there?
That is a sharp thumb screw.
Right, and we're going to go, oh no, oh no. It's okay, everyone, it will be alright. Oh, who am I trying to convince? The audience or me? All right, we're winning. That's one. And that is two. There we go. There we go. The cold cathode. Oh, God. Time for some quick repairs. Damn it. Why won't you squish? Are you kidding? Arrgh. The cold cathode is everything. We're not running without the cold cathode. And battery, BIOS battery, we'll put that in a minute if we need it. We need the cold cathode. Yep. Do you want to break one of those out? Because we're probably going to need it. The cold cathode is everything. If you don't like the cold cathode, you don't understand this computer. Oh, I just inhaled a whole bunch of that.
Come out, you swine.
I need to tin up that.
Oh my...
Caradog is struggling just as much,
Why
except
is
with the batteries.
Packing so obnoxious.
I hate packs like that.
Oh my god, where is a knife? I am just going to attack it with a knife.
I don't know why this is smoking so much. Alright. Nearly there.
Violence.
Ow.
Oh my god, legitimately, where is your knife?
The knife is... I don't know, Caradog. I don't know anything anymore. We're so close to the end, and I'm just like, okay, we need to finish now. We need to be done. It's like that scene at the end of MasterChef where there's like 5 minutes left on the clock and all of the strategy, all of the planning has gone out the window and they're just like, oh God, we just need to put something on the plate. It doesn't matter what it is, just something has to be on the plate.
I don't know who designed this packaging, but I hope they stub their toe.
On a Lego while their other foot lands on a UK plug. My God, this will not... I need to vice this up, but everything is burning hot and it won't stay on.
You know the thing about wet sock, middle of the night, fridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my sentiment right now.
Why? Why won't this solder together? Right, okay, look. Cut and strip. Do it properly. Cut and strip. We can do this. M Network System says chop chop. I'm supposed to be getting fish and chips. I agree, and I'm sorry. However, your fish and chips will be all the sweeter after you've seen this computer be stone dead. Right, we've got the battery. Do you want to put the battery in? While I fight with the sodding cold cathode. This is like the olive. Don't forget the olive.
There we go.
There we go. Got it. I got it. It's fine.
Is it 400 volts safe?
Oh, this is the 12 volt side. Don't worry. That's the 12 volt side. Okay, right. Move out the way. The cold cathode is going in. I hate Molex so much. Will that fit around the back? Oh, it will.
Yo.
Must hide the wires. Hide the sin.
Hide the crimes.
There we go. Cold cathode. In. It's done. BIOS. If you changed it, that's
Yes.
the old one. Good. What's that? What's the... I take it didn't reach.
No. We didn't know which way around it went.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So I went, instead of plugging it in and possibly breaking something, we'll leave that for next time.
You are forgiven.
We'll leave that for next time.
Caradog, I think it's time to turn it on and see it not work.
Absolutely.
Okay, we are plugged into the capture card.
Yes.
Right, let's go to there. No, let's keep that and let's turn on that.
I'm liking the super chat.
Oh, there's a suture to help pay for the therapy needed afterwards. Oh no! I'm gonna say, who was that? David Malu. This is French and I'm not very good. Help me.
Malux?
You don't pronounce the Lux. It's just Lou, isn't it?
Malu.
Malu.
Malou.
Thanks, David. I'm sorry. May you. Let's turn this on, Caradog. Thank you very much. Seriously,
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to put that down there. We are ready to go. We have capture, and we'll switch. Will it work if we switch to it? It will. Okay. Kronk, pull the lever. If the stream cuts out, it's because it blew the fuse. Wah, 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 wah. Push it again, just in case.
We did actually. Oh yeah, I was
We've
just
got
making sure
standby.
that was actually plugged in.
We've got a standby LED. Yeah, we've got a standby. Oh, I thought it would do something. Oh no. All right.
Is the power button in the correct?
That's most likely it. I might just unplug the power button and just start jamming screwdrivers into the front panel until it turns on. I need a better tool for jamming into the front panel connector.
Oh, good lord, this is a mess.
Nope. I think it's dead.
Possibly.
I jammed a tool in there pretty good.
Which ones do you need to short?
Green and black. The capo will fit on that. Let me grab one.
Just because obviously if this doesn't work, we know it's the power supply.
True that. Yeah. I think that's correct. Ooh.
Hey!
Yeah, okay. So the power supply works. The cold cathode works.
I have to say, I quite like having a cold cathode like that.
That's how I would have mounted it. Well, I'd actually have I'd try to mount. I probably would have bottom mounted it in this case. Yeah, I just put it there just to put it on show. Yeah. Right. So yeah, the power supply works. Do the fans in the power supply work? Oh yeah, they do. There we go. Yep. Does the blowhole work? The blowhole works.
Excellent.
All right.
Oh.
It twitched just then, didn't it, when we plugged it in? What's that jumper down there? Let's reset.
Oh, excuse me.
Reset. Oh, so let's just unplug the whole front panel. Just make sure that I had something in there. Power on. Yeah, I can't see how it was anything else other than the ones I had it plugged into. Yeah. I think the motherboard's dead. Yeah. Yeah, I'm calling dead motherboard. Can you RMA it? Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else in there? Yeah. Green and black. Should have bench tested stuff. Oh, there wasn't time. Yeah. Voltage check caps. We ain't doing that now. I'm not getting into that. Yeah. I tell you, I'll do one thing. I'm going to quickly pull up a manual for this motherboard just so we can check what the actual pin out for the front panel is, just because it might be that simple. So what was this? This is an A-bit...
KX7333.
KX7333. Manual. User's manual Rev 101. That'll be good enough.
Sell it as a gaming PC.
Let's see.
In the same way as an FX CPU runs at 85 gigahertz.
Yeah. Let's see. Introducing them, installing the motherboard and chassis, connectors, headers, and switches. Chapter 2 to 7.
That's a far more sensible heatsink.
Yeah. 2.5. System memory. Connectors, headers, and switches. Pin 1 and pin 2.
The IR header?
Yeah, this will have IR on it. CMOS reset. Oh, let's just check normal position. Yes, that is correct. That is where it is. Right. Power LED. Power. What? Oh, no, that is correct, yeah. Sorry, for a minute, I was like, that is nothing like what was written on the motherboard. However, I was looking at it wrong. Yeah, power, the second one's, that's how I had it connected. Yeah.
Where is that? Is that these ones?
Top row, pin 1. Yeah, so the top row, second from the top left, and I did go along shorting each one of those together. So, yeah. I'll do it one more time just for posterity. However, that's absolutely the ones I was shorting.
Yeah.
So that's these guys here. Yeah, no. It's dead, Jim. We could start diagnosing it, but I'm not doing that now. Because of time constraints. That's unfortunate.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Remove everything. Faulty graphics card. Okay, we're at 2 hours 56. Let's do a bare boot. If it doesn't run on a bare boot, we're ending. Yeah. I really hate to end like this. However, I did start dropping hints earlier on that this might happen.
Wow, it's also completely untested.
Yeah.
And is, how old did we work out? 20 years old?
Yeah. I mean, the main thing I wanted to do was just look at what was in here. and just show an indication on what it could have been, what it once was, maybe, or what it could have been at some point. I'm very I would have loved to have seen it post and go into BIOS, but I'm not going to be heartbroken if it hasn't been done. So yeah, repair video next time. I'm not savvy with ATX motherboard repair. That's the problem. We could start recapping it.
That one looks particularly unhappy.
Yeah, there's several very, very angry boys there. And, I mean, this is legitimately a very good contender for a recap. And if I mean, is that something people would want to see next week? If so it's not...
Isn't it those ones, though? Isn't it these ones?
It was not.
Oh, isn't it?
So, top left, not the first two, but the second two.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, so is that something people would be interested in? Yeah, so what I'll do is, during the week, I'll have a look at those caps and see what the rating on those caps is. I'll order a bunch of capacitors, and we'll recap this next week. We'll do a talk show while I recap the board.
Yeah.
I don't know if this board is worth anything. It probably isn't. I don't think it's it's probably not an interesting board because it's got a VIA chipset on it.
Also the fact of it's missing on board, but the IO shield has on board.
Yeah.
It doesn't have onboard audio.
It's not a particularly exotic motherboard. Like if this was like an 8-bit NF7 or something like that, you know, if it was like one of the iconic motherboards of the era, I would care more. But I don't think this is an iconic motherboard. I think it's just a run-of-the-mill board that just does the job.
Yeah.
However, given I am incredibly sad that this does not work. And if we could recap it next week and it worked, that would definitely be redemption. So yeah.
I guess.
Does have IDE RAID? It does. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Unplug the IDE cable. Sure. Yeah, I doubt it. Whoop. No. No, it's dead. I've enjoyed this conversation in English.
Me.
Well, sorry, folks. That's a bit disappointing. However... despite that very, very disappointing end of a no power, I have actually very much enjoyed just looking through this computer. That's all I actually wanted to do today. Tidying it up and turning it on would have been a bonus, but honestly, I've just enjoyed looking through the hardware. That's what I wanted to do today, is just look at it all and go, remember this kind of thing. However, I'll order some capacitors. I'll get some capacitors in and we'll recap this next week and to see if we can make it run. If it's any more complicated than that, we're not going to repair this motherboard. But if it will work with just a recap, what I'll do during the week, I'll pop that motherboard out and I'll just check for shorts on the capacitors and we'll see. So yeah. Right, let's see. I said you could do 2 streams out of this PC. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. It has been fun. Good. I'm glad some people have enjoyed it. Do you remember zip drives? Yeah, zip drives and jazz drives. Rad. Yeah. Still a good way to pass an afternoon. Good. Yeah. All right. Right. That's it. We're done for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If we don't come back to this next week, it's because I looked at it and was just like, no, this is a rabbit hole. What I'll do, though, during the week, I'll get the multimeter on the back of those capacitors and I'll see if any of them are actually in a dead short circuit, which will probably be a good enough indication as to whether we can actually run with that or not. If my memory serves me, if none of those capacitors are actually short circuit, it's probably not the capacitors. I could be wrong. I'll refer to some of the folks in my Discord, though. But... we'll keep you up to date. Next week, I'll tell you what the result is if we're not recapping it. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I've enjoyed looking at this. I've enjoyed cleaning it up. So, yeah. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time. that's it. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you next week. We're out of here. Bye for now.
Thanks.
And thanks for the super chats as well. Thanks for the super chats and for everyone being here and all the rest of it. Thank you for everything. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you for this conversation in English.
Yeah. All right.